50 years ago today, right here at Dodger Stadium, Sandy shut out Bob Gibson, 1-0. Tommy Davis hit the game-winning home run in the bottom of the ninth. They weren't called walk-offs yet. He scattered 5 hits, 2 of them to Stan Musial. Struck out 9, didn't walk anybody. He improved his record to 10-2. Time of game, 2 hours and 18 minutes. Now that's pace of play. This morning, we hope we've done our best on pace of program. And now with that, 60 years later, my honor to introduce Sandy Koufax.
Well, I think the film said everything I wanted to say, so I'll be leaving now. Now, 67 years ago, Jackie Robinson became my teammate and friend. At that time, sharing this space with him would have been absolutely unimaginable. And today it still is. It's one of the greatest honors of my life. I'm also honored to have 2 very good friends here. Clayton and Joe, thank you for being here. Thank you for the kind words. It's been fun knowing you both. Conventional wisdom has always said, don't give an old man a microphone. You have too many years to talk about it. Well, I try not to, but I'm going to start way back at the beginning. In high school, my life was all about basketball. I didn't even think baseball existed. After my senior year of basketball was over, I decided, well, I'm going out for the baseball team because my best friend is their best pitcher, Fred Wilpon. So I said, okay, I'm going out for baseball. Well, they had 2 other good pitchers, so I ended up either in right field or first base, wherever. But our catcher was a guy by the name of Walter Laurie. And Walter's father, Milton, ran a Sandlot baseball team. And he was at our practices and games sometimes. And I have to thank him. I think he started this journey here. He asked me to come pitch for his team. And I didn't know what the hell pitching was, basically, but I said, okay. He worked for the Old Journal-American newspaper, and on game days, his delivery van became the team bus. And his getting me to this point probably wouldn't have happened without him. That summer over, I went to the University of Cincinnati. I wasn't really a walk-on, I was invited to come. I didn't have a scholarship, but I was invited to come out. I didn't make the team. I was a starter. I wasn't great, I wasn't bad. But the freshman coach was Ed Jucker, who was also the baseball coach. So the baseball team was going to New Orleans, and I decided I wanted to go to New Orleans. So I volunteered. I became a pitcher. You know, freshmen weren't eligible, so on that trip I pitched against an Air Force base, and during the season I pitched against 2 non-conference games. And with that great amount of experience, that winter I signed a contract to pitch for the Brooklyn Dodgers, which is more surprising than the thought of playing for the New York Knicks. And it just didn't really. But winter over, spring training off to Vero Beach with absolutely no clue of what to do. And as Charlie said, the only reason for me in the big leagues, the owners had come up with a new rule to save them from giving out bonuses. If you got over $4,000 to sign, you had to spend the next 2 years in the major leagues. My presence on the roster wasn't, a happy experience for a lot of people. You took other people's jobs, maybe you took somebody else's job. But Jackie went out of his way to make me feel welcome, and I'll never forget his kindness on that. The team was pretty special in 1955. if you think that 5 guys on that team are now in the Hall of Fame, and one more should be. You know, Don Newcomb was probably the outstanding pitcher at that time. And Don took me aside right away and said, pitching is hard work. If you're not working hard and you're making it easy, you're not doing it right. And I believe that, and I lived by that after that. The Dodgers' success in the late 50s, early 60s has the fingerprints of so many people on it. It's hard to describe how so many of them performed so well to put us in a position to play on a grand stage, the World Series. The list of people is incredibly long, but I'm going to go through some as quickly as I can. My first pitching coach, Joe Becker, believed in me from the start, and I never figured out why. My second pitching coach, Lefty Phillips. My manager, Walter Alston, he's my only manager. I'm not sure he was that happy with me as a bonus player, but we came to have a pretty good relationship through the years. All my roommates, you know, Doug Camilli, Norm Sherry, Carl Ferrilla, Dick Trzeski, you spend so many hours in one room, you become like family. Most of all, I thank my teammates, all of them. All the catchers. There's a special relationship between pitchers and catchers. John Rosegrove was basically my catcher most of the time, and our relationship was incredible. Never any doubt. When I look for a sign, it's really what I wanted to throw. John didn't create any doubt in my mind. Our all switch hitting infield. Jim Lefevre, Wes Parker, Jim Gilliam, Maury Wills. They were great defensively. Jim Gilliam played anywhere you needed him. Maury Wills came up in the middle of 1959 and made himself, through sheer will, the most potent offensive player in the game. Every base hit, every walk was a double or triple. Willie Davis ran down with his speed, ran down all your mistakes as long as they stayed in the ballpark. Sometimes couldn't do anything about it. Tommy Davis was probably one of the outstanding hitters at the time. And you look at his numbers in 1962, where he batted .346, and had an incredible 153 RBIs. He was great. Inside the clubhouse, our equipment manager, and also a good friend, was Nobu Kawano. Vin Scully. Well, there's a lot of talk these days about greatest of all time. GOAT used to be a bad thing. Now it's the greatest of all time. Well, that's the end of the discussion. Vin Scully is the greatest of all time, period. No discussion, it's him. The owners were great owners, the O'Malleys were great owners who did their best to make our lives pretty good. I think my only regret today is that so many are no longer with us, and I am unable to let them know how much I thank them and how much I appreciate them. Thank you to all the fans who treated me so well, and tell them how lucky they are to have had competitive teams to root for so many years. Andrew Friedman and his staff have done their best to provide players for Doc, and the owners who made these teams possible, the Walters, the Pattons, Todd Bowley, Peter Gruber, Stan Caston, and of course, my other favorite, number 32, Magic Johnson. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day. And for all who came out, thank you. And for my family and friends, thank you very much. I love you one and all. I'm done.
Before we go, a special thank you to the artist who created the magnificent statue that is right here. now and forever. Next to Jackie Robinson, Brandley Cadet. He sculpted this one too. The slide, the leg kick, and the pitch, and the artistry of Brandley Cadet. That concludes our ceremony, and in just a few hours, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball. Thank you.